for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network.
All right, welcome. How you doing? How you doing? Yeah. It's Fade to Black. Yeah, today is Thursday, March 5th, 2026. Let's do this, man. What a great week on Fade to Black. Monday night, Misqua Kimiwan was here, the Guardian UFO case. Tuesday night, Jill M. Jackson, spiritually advanced children. Last night, Sylvie Sterling, the cat whisperer. And tonight, it's our AMA AJA. We do this once a month. You get to ask me anything. You know the drill. Post your questions in all caps in the live chat so I don't have to wear glasses. Yeah. You know why these are here? You know why these are here? I don't need glasses. I do when I'm racing, though. Yeah. All right. Tonight's our AMA. Post your questions in all caps. Ask me anything. I was getting a little cocky in the chat. I said, man, push me. Push me. Turn me into a meme. Push me. I won't hold back. I won't hold back. I mean, just as long as it's not, you know, I'm forced into, not forced, but asked to comment on somebody else in a negative way. Nah, you know, and I get that, you know, that drives some people sometimes, but I won't do that. And of course, politics and stuff. I don't do that stuff. But anything else, man? Anything else? Push it. Push it. It's fun. I have stuff up here that I have forgotten. How do you get to this? You ask the questions. I just when somebody comes up and ask me something, it's easier for me to just pull it out rather than me just blurting stuff out. It doesn't. There's too much. There's too much in my head. Too much in my head. That's why these AMAs are so great, because I can just dive in to the hard drive, to the Akashic records, and pull that stuff out. So challenge me. Get into my noggin. I love AMAs. I love it. My next event coming up is the Sedona Ascension Retreat. This is coming up in 2 weeks. Yeah, exactly 2 weeks. I'll be there. Yeah, in exactly 2 weeks. March 20th through the 22nd, 2026 in Sedona, Arizona. It's going to be fantastic. And all you have to do is go to Sedona Ascension Retreats with an S.com. Okay, the links are below. Get your tickets, and I'll see you out there in Sedona. Somebody sent me an email today. I think it was an email. Somebody sent it to me. A list of places to eat with meat in Sedona. Oh, man. Okay, moving on. Sometimes, look, I will always just let it flow. All right. And when I say that I am challenged, the majority of places in Sedona are health and conscious related restaurants. And I get that. I totally get it. You know, that's the community out there. But for somebody like me, you have to, right? You have to search. The better restaurants are not. I'm going to shut up. They don't cater to people like me. There's a reason why there's no In-N-Out in Sedona. They go out of business. No, not really. Me and my friends would eat there a lot. All right. So tonight's AMA. Ask me anything. Post your questions in all caps over in the live chat. And I was just going to say something, but you know what? I'm going to be talking all night long tonight. So we will just get started. You guys want to get started? You want to get started? Let's do this. All right. Here we go. It's like, I got to get ready, man. I got to stretch. Get ready for this. I do. You guys have no idea. So much fun. And let me say this. I don't know if I've said this before. I've said it to people. Here's the deal with all of the live stuff that I do, right? And doing this every night, doing the news every day, the taping of stuff that I do and the style that I do it, like Beyond Belief and Into the Vortex over on Gaia TV. When I do that stuff, it's adrenaline. Okay, it's adrenaline. You go, right? Action, and you ride through that on adrenaline. Everything, words, pronunciation, thoughts, stringing sentences together, asking questions, guiding the interview, guiding the show, the challenge of a guest and their style. Everybody's a little bit different or a lot different. You have to go and none of it, because all of it is live. I am not gifted a mistake. Okay? Think about that. If you had to go through your entire day at your job and you were not allowed to mess up a word, a sentence, a thought, a question, no mistakes. You don't get 3 strikes and you're out. No, you get 0. Now, with time, you can start to develop the things that you need to do to get the stuff done. You can do that. It comes with practice and repetition and rehearsal and everything else. And the only way to get that done is adrenaline. The force of that to get into your brain and your body and your heart and everything, so you can stay focused. But it comes with a debt. At the end of the show, when I am done taping 4 back-to-back episodes of Beyond Belief, 4 different guests, producers, camera people, lighting people, the guests, there's a countdown time, the slate comes down, and it's go time. Boom. No retakes. That's it. So when you watch Beyond Belief, just like this show, it's no edits. I don't get to go, oh man, I messed up saying that word. Can we do that again? It ain't that kind of party. So you get to the end of all of that, and in about 2 or 3 minutes, I can feel my body just shutting down. My brain, I'm just, but during that time, life is good. and sitting here for the next couple of hours, answering your questions all night long. Yes, adrenaline rush. Yes, an addiction for sure. It is so much fun. But at the end of the night, and I know what you guys are thinking after the show, I'm going out for a night ride on my Harley. I'm coming back doing vodka shots. I have people coming over. We're watching a movie. Then we go out, and it's just, oh, no. Show's over. Everything shuts down. My head hits my desk right here. Bonk. Yeah. But adrenaline's flowing right now. So let's get to it. Let's get to your questions. And I have some stuff here too I want to show everybody tonight. I'm going to start off with this. My shirt. Nocturne. Northwest Scalar Designs. And I'm going to pop up. I am going to pop up really quick their website. And so you can go and visit them and check out the Scalar Designs part of the company does RC crawlers, which is the slow rock crawler remote radio. The best. And if you're into that sort of thing, and it's a big deal, especially right now, go and visit the website and check out all the exciting stuff that they have there. I was gifted this shirt, but also a really cool universal template for Les Paul Strats and Tellys for knob and switch placement. I got it done. Most of you are like, huh? What? Huh? Well, yeah, fair enough. But I got to tell you, I was pretty excited. And so anyway, Northwest Scalar Designs, their rock crawlers and the work that they do over there as far as RC trucks go, just absolutely amazing. And there just may be, I don't know, but if I had a crystal ball, I think there's a 4-door black Jeep Wrangler rock crawler in my future. It's coming. All right. So that's the shirt that I'm wearing tonight. I put this on special for the show. I did ride earlier today, but no, I took off the Harley shirt and I'm sporting my Nocturne. There you go. Okay. All right. First question. Let's go. It's always Renee. Renee, thank you. Renee's the best, man. There'd be no fade to black without Renee. All right. Okay. Renee says, if you could go back in time and change one thing in your life, even something small or trivial, what might that be? She says, I would change my lifelong allergy to furry animal dander. If I can, okay. All right. Great question. Great way to start out the show. And I'm going to get comfortable. I'm going to lean back. I'm going to do this for the rest of the show. Can I do this? Can I do this? Can I do this? Okay. If I could go back in time, you know what I would do? You know what I would do if I could go back in time, people? I would go back in time with an air fryer. Yeah, that's what I would do. I would go back in time with an air fryer. My air fryer, I have developed a very special relationship with. Very special. Love my air fryer. Air fryers are a game changer. So if I could go back in time, I would go back to my 5-year-old self with an air fryer like 1968 and show up with that. I wouldn't claim that I've invented it. I would just put it on the counter, let my mom show it off, and let the world see it and let it take on its own thing. That's what I would do. Air fryer. Air fryers. I wouldn't take back a computer. I wouldn't take back a guitar. cell phone. No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't do any of that. Air fryer. I cannot believe how much my air fryer. I've got juicers. I've got this. I've got that. And okay, they have their moment for a couple of weeks or whatever, and then they just kind of collect dust after that, like your Stairmaster. And so my air fryer, I'll tell you, who lost out? You know who's depressed? You know who I can't go stand next to now? My microwave. My microwave is upset with me. Yeah, I broke up. Nothing goes in my microwave now, except for water. That's it. There's no reason to use a microwave if you have an air fryer. Air fryer is just as faster, and it's incredible. So that's what I would do. I would take an air fryer back. Now, here's the disclaimer, though. I wouldn't want to do anything that would change my life going back in time. Okay? I like where I'm at now. I don't want to have the butterfly effect and have something crazy go back with an air fryer and suddenly my life changes and my daughter's not born or I'm not here with you tonight. I like where I'm at. I wouldn't change a thing. But if I could go back and put an air fryer on my mom's kitchen counter, I would do that. Personally for me, so I know that I have a full life of air frying in front of me. Yeah. Yep. That's what I would do. All right, let's move on. Let's see who's up next. Okay, Charles has got 15 questions back to back. You know the rules here. One question per person per night. So I can get to all the questions. I don't want any upset fade or nots. But Charles has banged out a bunch of questions. He says, so I'm going to do the first one. Charles says, let me pop this up. Can I ask what type of starship you would like? A space cruiser type or just a normal starship? Oh, okay. All right. So I'm assuming this is for some long trip. I'd like the Fhloston Paradise from The Fifth Element. That's what I'd want to be on that ship. I want to be on a cruise ship. I want to be on the Fhloston Paradise. And even with Bruce Willis, I would do it, and Chris Tucker. But the Fhloston Paradise, you want to do that in luxury. You want to, if you haven't been on a cruise ship, if you haven't been on a cruise and experienced that, I think everybody, if you can pull it off, everybody should do it once. It's pretty fun. It's everything that you think it is, by the way. But to spend that much time at sea, you need to have that cruise ship like that. We've already got the ideas dialed out. So if we're going to do something that's 100 years or 1,000 years or whatever it is out there in space, you're going to want to do it in luxury. You don't want to be in that position. So yeah, the Fhloston Paradise, I guess that's a cruise ship. So I would say that's a space cruiser. I hope that answers your question, Charles. And let's see. John, what am I going to do with you, man? What's the one song you regret never playing as bumper music during Coast to Coast? Anything Slayer. That's what I regret the most. Slayer. Back in the day on Coast, I would maybe once a week. I did it as often as I could. I would put this post out on social media. What songs do you want to hear on Coast to Coast tonight? And there's John Slayer, man. Season of the Abyss. For years upon years upon years. There's John Slayer. John, you're the best, man. You are the absolute best. Charles has got another one. You know what, Charles? I'm gonna give you two, just because I just saw this. Hello. Do you believe in Operation High Jump about the Antarctica UFO stuff there in 1945? Okay, so Operation High Jump. The Admiral Byrd, the curious side of this. All right, now look, I love a great conspiracy. And this is one of those stories that has stayed in our community for so long. All right, so Operation High Jump did happen. All right. In that, Admiral Byrd went down there with 3 ships, 5,000 troops, armed and dangerous, and went down to Antarctica. That was Operation High Jump. Now, why take 5,000 troops, right? Why do all of that? And the story goes that they saw stuff. And so the only source of this was a newspaper article out of Argentina. So he comes back, pulls into port in South America, and talks to a journalist for this newspaper down there. And in the article, he said that they saw a craft that could circle the earth in an hour. UFOs, flying saucers, craft that could circle the earth in an hour, amongst other things. So this has just taken on a life of its own over the years. So do I believe that Operation High Jump happened? Absolutely. That's part of the historical record. The other part of it, the journalist in Argentina and that big reveal, that's out. Now, was that satire? Was it made up? Was it hoax? Did the article actually appear? I've never seen the newspaper myself personally. It's not, but I've seen the article. I've seen images of the article. Certainly looks like it was in a newspaper. And these were pretty fantastic claims. And he said other things too as well. Was he shut down after that? Did he not talk about it to anybody once he got back? I did meet somebody maybe 10 years ago that was the grandson of his pilot that flew over Antarctica. That there was some confirmations of things and stuff that was written in his grandfather's journal, which I did read through, and I still have. That was pretty interesting too as well. So was it a cover-up after that? It's an amazing story. When you look at something like this, which would be a conspiracy if it is a cover-up, but when you're looking at Operation High Jump, do we accept the conspiracy because of the parts that are real? The trip happened. Apparently, this newspaper article happened. Everything after that, there's nothing there for us. So do we just go yes and go all in? That's a tough one. That's a tough one. So I would like to say that I believe. That's where I'm at with that. That's a great question, Charles, and thank you for that. All right, moving on. We've got Carl Olson up next. What's up, Carl? Jimmy, if someone gifted you an old Harley, nice, to display in your house, what year and what model? Easy. Evel Knievel's XR 750. That's what I would want on display in my living room. And if I could narrow it down, the one that he jumped the buses with at Kings Island in Ohio. Yeah. Now I did see Evel Knievel jump. I think it was 1971 in Chicago. My dad took the family to I think it was the convention center in Chicago. I was very young. I was probably 7 years old at the time. Born in 63. That's 7. Yeah, I was probably 7. I remember like it was yesterday. My hands on the chain link fence. It was indoors. I don't know, 14 buses, 15 buses, and I'm at the ramp. The ramp is in front of me in like the first set of buses. That's what I'm looking at. And Evel Knievel comes out, wah, 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 and doing his wheelies right past it. Wow. I was like, oh man, I'm just holding on to the fence. What? Evel Knievel would stand on his seat and pop a wheelie. Consider, like Travis Pastrana or whatever, all these amazing bikers today that are out there doing their stunts. They're incredible what they can do today. Evel standing up, it was like such a big deal. And anyway, saw Evel jump the buses, and I couldn't believe how fast it was over too, by the way. I remember the announcer going, okay, here he comes. And it was over. It was over just like that. But I would Evel's XR 750. That's what I would put in the living room. The one he used in 74. I think he used him for like maybe 7 or 8 years. My memory says Evel did the XR 750s from like 70 until the mid 70s, 75, 76, 77. That's what I remember. But man, they just look so cool. The XR 750. I do have an XR 750 jacket. Yeah, I wear that a lot. Okay, Jonocide. Only one question, Jonocide. I'm just clicking now. Okay, I didn't look. Otherwise, John wouldn't get this. With Chris Bledsoe, prediction of a missile exchange between Israel and Iran being a sign of disclosure for this year, what are your thoughts? Well, I like Chris. Chris is my friend. And okay, so there's the disclaimer. What is it that I'm about to say? What I'm about to say is, if you're going to make a prediction on something like that, you can't really use a missile exchange between Iran and Israel as a precursor for this, because that's every day. I mean, I'm not making light of that. It's a bad situation that's going on over there, but you can't really use anything like that because it just happens every day. I caught that too as well, but that can happen in any year. Does happen. I mean, like all the time for decades. It's nothing new. So I'll just leave that right there. But certainly there is something going on. And Chris and others, if we back this up, 10, 12 years, when before the media, before 2017, before the New York Times, before all of that, it was 2026, 2027 were the marker years that were used by so many people. And we are here now, and we've seen it ramp up. We've seen where we are. Let's see how we move forward. I'm a little bummed about some of the stories going around right now, and the rumors about there is going to be no document dump, right? That there are powers in the background that have squashed that White House announcement about all the the files being dumped. And we know that there's cover up after cover up after cover up when it comes to this kind of stuff. And we've just had a massive document dump of the Epstein files. That's not even in the news anymore. It's crazy. What's her name from the Today Show? Guthrie. What's her name? Savannah Guthrie. Her mom is kidnapped and missing. Huge story. It's not crazy, isn't it? I mean, wow. Everything, all the bad news. Minneapolis, Minnesota, all the crazy stuff that's been going on around this country. All of it is covered up right now. All of it is forgotten, like it never happened. Yep. And that's what you do today if you have that kind of power. That's what you do. There's a lot of individuals and groups with that kind of power. You know, media moguls, families, corporations, certainly politicians and governments that can break their own story to cover up the bad news. I mean, we just had, was it Prince Andrew, who was just arrested in the UK? Right? The royal family, Epstein files, arrest. You know what that is to hit? You know what kind of big deal that is? It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Savannah Guthrie's mom, forgotten. 2 people shot in the head in Minneapolis, gone. Gone. I can continue. The Epstein files, gone. The Epstein files disappeared, man. Crazy. And any other bad news story, anyone that you can think of, it's gone. And it's so far gone. Even if it was 2 weeks ago, it is so far gone, it will never return. Moving on. All right. This is from Shelley. Shelley says, blink of an eye. Great flick. Yes. Great flick. Give us another one you liked as much. Another film? Okay. I'm waiting for Luc Besson's Dracula to land. It's in theaters right now. I cannot wait for that. I just mentioned The Fifth Element. Luc Besson was the director of The Fifth Element. He's a director of The Professional, Valerian. So many great films from Luc. He's one of the best filmmakers out today. I would say alive right now, Quentin Tarantino, Wes Anderson, Steven Spielberg, Luc Besson. I mean, that's like that's the top 4. No debating that. And so I'm very excited about Dracula. But here's the problem that I have. Films today are getting a little bit too cookie cutter to me, like paint by numbers, and coming up with something creative and being able to tell a story in 2 hours and keep my attention. It's tough. A lot of films today I don't finish. In the blink of an eye is an exception. It's at that level of excellence. World class, will go down in history as one of the great films. Films are about storytelling and acts 1, 2, and 3. And if you haven't seen it yet, In the Blink of an Eye is 3 stories. One that takes place with the Neanderthal 45,000 years ago, one story today, and one story in the far future. And they cut back and forth and show you how all 3 are tied together in a very cool way. Not going to give that part up. But that's what the film is about. It's great. But what I spend most of my time on these days is if I have a good TV series, usually comedy. I do the drama stuff and suspense and science fiction. I need to binge. I need a TV series with multiple seasons that I can watch like one long movie. That's right. And if you haven't, I got the hiccups all of a sudden. If you haven't, hiccuped again. Hold on. River Moon Coffee. There are a few absolute standards for TV today that still hold up. Parks and Rec, 7 seasons, great first episode, season 1, great ending, an amazing way to wrap it up after 7 seasons. That's a lot of Parks and Rec. But Michael Schur, right? So Parks and Rec, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Good Place, 30 Rock. These are unbelievable. Now, today, right now, St. Dennis is incredible. St. Dennis, 2 seasons. Really, really clever writing and great character development. The same character development is going on there that you had with 30 Rock or Parks and Rec or Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Good Place. Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Love it. Abbott Elementary. Abbott Elementary, I think, is going to also go down in the Television Hall of Fame. It's so well done. St. Dennis is on its way to doing that too as well. Always Sunny is going to be there. But and there's so many others for me, but I just like that. Paradise right now that's out is really, really good. But again, I just like to binge because I'm on that adrenaline rush withdrawal. And I'd just like to be able to just sit there and veg and just let it roll till I fall asleep. So there you go. Shelley, I'm glad you enjoyed In the Blink of an Eye. It's streaming on Hulu. I sound like I'm pitching, and it's not a paid endorsement or paid advertising. It's an incredible film. So really, and it stars in the modern day section, Rashida Jones from Parks and Recreation. Yeah. She's just absolutely amazing. I brought her up recently for another TV series that she was in. I can't remember about the robot. Okay, there you go, Shelley. Let's see who's next. I'm smiling. I'm smiling at you. Now that you've been called a shock jock, yes, I was in Rolling Stone earlier this week. If you haven't seen that, pretty cool. Got my picture, got a quote from yours truly. What's the most shocking thing you can remember revealing on your show? That's kind of easy. There's a lot of things that have happened on the show, for sure. I'm going to go with Richard Dolan. I'm going to go with Richard Dolan and the Wilson Davis docs. When that reveal happened on this show, it was Richard that reminded me that on Fade to Black, a few years prior to that, he had discussed, the question from me to him was, what's the one secret document that you have that you've never talked about? You know, the big reveal. And he talked about 2 pages. He didn't have the whole Wilson Davis doc back then, but somebody had given him 2 pages from that doc. And he talked about it on Fade to Black. And so he knew when the Wilson Davis document was revealed, he knew that he had pages from it from years before, and that the document goes back another 20 years. So that was a really, really big deal for me personally on the show, for verification for Richard's research, for him personally. That all happened on this show. That was a really big deal. It was a really big moment for me personally and for the world, and what the Wilson Davis document turned out to be for everybody. So yeah, for me also, I probably Linda Moulton Howe, when she revealed on this show what happened from the front row at a Jimi Hendrix concert in San Francisco. Yeah, I think it was Golden Gate Park. I got to tell you, to this day, her and I still talk about it. She tells the story now like it's nothing. She never really told the story before, Fade to Black. Now she's out. She's out. She's out of the closet. And she laughs. I don't want to get into the details of what happened from the front row and what Jimi Hendrix did to the audience. Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to leave that right there. All right, here we go. Man, this is a long question. I read these live on the air. Please don't embarrass me. Okay, from so many questions. From past AMA, I have another reference that Arthur Trudeau name appears on patent for night vision systems for M1A2 Army tanks. Can we further confirm with other sources? Okay, I can't confirm that now live on the air, but I will cut and paste this and see what I can do. Yeah. So that is for the M1 tank? Okay. All right. By that time, I mean, night vision was already in use in the military, old versions of it, big honking version. They used to have, right? That was not now, but back then it was a real deal. So yeah, okay. I will check into that. It's actually very interesting. All right. To further explain, someone going through old tech papers, military defense saw Trudeau's name under night vision. No record kept. So it's just hearsay. Okay. All right. Very interesting. All right. Charles, I already got your questions in. Who is next? Let's see here. Hold on. Moderators, I need you to stay on your game. All right, Esperanza's coming in. Please, can we see clips or will you do some acting from the show you were in at CLE? I can look into that. I mean, it was taped. Yeah, I can get some clips. I had a lot of fun doing that. The problem for me personally, and I think for the audience too as well, it was packed and it was fun. But that play was scheduled for 10 p.m. on Saturday night. And by the time the play rolled around, I had makeup put on for a couple of hours and everything. By the time the play was a little bit late starting, it didn't start at 10, started around 10:20, 10:30. And it was 2 hours. So everybody there, the audience, and I mean, it's getting late. I would have rather have had the play done in the afternoon when we are all fresh. Yeah. But again, adrenaline takes over. We all had a great time. Debbie was amazing. And I mean, I can't say it enough. How much work was put into that, and to have us put on a play like we were in elementary school. That's what it was. You know, we're not professional actors. We've got our thing. We've rehearsed it. Now we're just going to go up and let it all hang out in front of everybody. It's not easy to do. And when you have people up there that are doing this for the first time, and that includes me, of course, where we're not Broadway seasoned. No. And that was part of the joy for me, that we were just up there doing it. So I would love for all of you to see clips from it. I think we shot it with multiple cameras. I just haven't seen any of the clips. But yeah, if I get the clips, we'll pop them up there in social media. Thank you for that, Esperanza. All right, let's see who is next. Philip J. Shepard. That J is important. you've got to have that J there, Philip. There's so many Philip Shepherds out there impersonating, right? Yeah, you can't have that. You need to be your own guy. Get that J in there, Philip J. Shepherd, so all of those imposters can't steal your light. I love that. How do you think the vitrification of ancient ports came about? I have seen vitrification on 3 continents. Multiple sites. I don't even know now how many sites. And when you see it, and it's so, and in some cases, sometimes it's really spread out. Sometimes it's just in one very tight local area where you can back up and you can see where it starts and ends, and you see it, and it's burnt, toasted glass, and it's crazy to see. All you can do is speculate, okay, how did this go down? Where did this heat come from? Did it come from the earth? Right? Some kind of volcanic explosion? Happened from lightning from the earth? Or did something else crazy happen? Something cosmic, some cosmic debris, a comet, a meteorite. Could it be that? A crashed spaceship, a nuclear war, some kind of crazy weapon? I don't know, but it's there and it's localized. It's fascinating. I don't know. And when you go back, so far in time, how could humans generate that kind of heat on rocks, thousands and thousands of years ago, with mirrors and the sun reflecting? And I'm like, I don't know if that gets hot enough. I don't know. I think a lot of it is cosmic. That would explain it. Could there have been some ancient cultural war with nuclear weapons? Yeah, absolutely. Is that possible? It is certainly possible. I don't have any idea. I love it when you stand in front of the evidence and just look at that and then try to put the pieces together. It's crazy. I've seen it in Egypt, seen it in Peru, seen it here in the United States. It's crazy. Yeah. Philip J. Shepherd. Yeah. Okay. What's next? Please consider. Okay, here we go. Please consider a guest host for folks who like live YouTube. Maybe someone working from their studio. I get this question all the time. It's not that simple. I wish it was. It's a very complicated thing that goes on here. And you can't just have somebody on a remote location and then just start broadcasting and go. It doesn't really work that way. I've thought about this a lot over the years, to have somebody come in and sit in and do the show. It's not that there aren't talented people out there that could do it. There are. Man, I'll give this thing to Christina Gomez in a second. Let her stress. Let her do that. You know what I mean? I would if I could. It's more complicated than that. And as we move forward, like next week, I'll be filming Beyond Belief all week. Would I like to have a guest host in here? And I know that things could continue for everybody. Sure, absolutely. It's just technically not possible at this time. Somebody would have to nearly replicate this entire studio and have an awful lot of passwords. Yeah, think about that. Okay? All right? So, and it's a lot of stuff. And I have producers that go unnamed that work for me, that work off site, that make sure that this show happens and make sure that a lot of things happen. And yeah, it's I would if I could. Right now, it's not possible, but it's something that is discussed all the time. Next up, Roger. How you doing, Roger? What is all the videos of UFOs entering the moon in the past week? What is your thoughts? I've seen some of them. I've seen a lot of them over the years. I have no idea. I'll tell you this. There's something going on the moon. For sure. Is it aliens? Possible. Is it us? Possible. Is it China? Possible. Is it Russia? Possible. Is it us? Apparently not. We can't get a rocket off the ground to go to the moon. But I've seen these videos. So I have gone into my backyard probably 100 times. 100. Okay? With my telescope and a chair, coffee, and I have sat there for hours. Got my video phone hookup, my cell phone hookup to shoot video off the telescope. I'm ready to go. And I'm sitting there watching nothing. Just looking at the moon. With my telescope, I mean, I got the moon. I could see everything. Edges. It's all right there. And I haven't seen anything. I want to. In the worst of ways. I'm sitting there looking at the moon for 6 hours straight. And there's probably other stuff going on around me, behind me, that I miss because I'm sitting there looking at the moon. Like this. Just all night. Just look. All right. Somebody help me, please. I know. I love that stuff. I love that stuff. Do you know how many WTF moments I have had looking at those moon videos where you're like, what? Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Okay, next up. Leonard. How you doing, Leonard? Jimmy, the first week the James Webb Telescope was up and running, it was closed to the public. Any idea what they were looking at? Okay, I've discussed this with a few of the team members internationally and from the United States that work on the James Webb, and I've asked them very direct questions about that and other situations too as well, but specifically that. And they all told me the same thing. Now, look, they could be reading from a page of an instruction manual. All right. They've all told me the same thing. Look, man, there's too many countries. I think there's 12 with their teams of scientists and astronomers and astrophysicists that are using the James Webb. And there are so many thousands of people that are involved with this that they want, if anything crazy was discovered, they would announce it, that it's not under the control of the United States. Now, I'm thinking to myself, that sounds like a good story. That sounds like you guys are a bunch of really good people. It's a good story. And it may be true. But for them to say, we can't trust everybody on these, to keep a secret. Everybody is wanting to talk about this. And if anything extraordinary happened, somebody would leak it. It would get out. We can't. There's too many people involved. We can't keep it a secret. Yeah. And you know what? Bullshit, right? That's what you want to think. That's what I think. That was launched from the United States. I would say that the United States has got full control of everything. And if they wanted to shut it down and only be the only source that is looking at this information and looking at an exoplanet, looking at some starship fleet, or whatever it is, I think that is possible. I think that is definitely written into the subsystems. But they say we have no secrets. And if we discover that, we all want to be the discoverer of that and the discoverers of that. And we would want that information to get out. We are for the people. Okay. All right. So that's it. And what choice do we have, Leonard? What choice do we have? I'm not part of the team. I'm not a director or a secretary of information. I'm not any of that. So I'm not in control. There's nothing that we can do. Nothing that we can do. I'm still so upset over all of the information that just doesn't get to us. Something interesting. 3i Atlas is a perfect example of that. Oumuamua is another example. There's others too, where everything was pointed at that. We are observing things all the time and seeing stuff, and then nothing. It's like there is so much data on exoplanets, on star systems that is definitely not getting to us. Is it a conspiracy? Are they waiting for lab results, right? Some more spectro analysis to come through and looking at gases and you know what? That's possible. I'm always willing to give the benefit of a doubt, but my spidey sense says we're not being told everything when it comes to the James Webb or the Hubble or anything else that's pointing into deep space. That's my take. The airport in Sedona restaurant is great. Yeah, but you got to drive up the hill, Shelly. You got to drive up the hill, U-turn, get up to the top, and then pull in. But I'm going to check it out. Such a great view from up there. The airport in Sedona restaurant. I'm going to check that out, Shelly. Thank you for that. All right. Let's see. Happy birthday, Ken Priest. Is that even real, John? Is it Ken's birthday? He's going to Peru with me. I know Ken. Ken has been a guest in my home. I know Ken. And that dude is a whole bucket of fun. And yeah, somebody just said he didn't check in tonight. Of course he didn't. It's his birthday. Do you know what Ken is doing with his friends right now? Trying to get arrested. That's what they are doing. Ken and I are going to be in Peru in a couple of months. I cannot wait for that. All right. Good morning, Jimmy from the UK. Good morning. And that is from, that's not a question. What? I can't even read it. InsureTech? InsureTech? Happy birthday. Or, I mean, good morning. See, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not allowed to make mistakes. I got to stay focused. I got to I can't do that. All right. It stands out when it happens. And I would never do that in a normal show. Not to say that this is normal. This is anything but normal. All right. Who's up next? Who's up next? Oh, wow. Check this out. Okay, this is from Stella. Jimmy, can you please explain how that MMMC thing will work? And sorry, you won't be surprised to find out who I am. Kind of boring. Oh, really? Somebody that listens to the news. I like that. Okay, so there's a new set of software. It's an app. It's called MMMC. That will change. Okay, so here's what's going on today. I'm going to make this really quick. Because of AI, let's pick somebody. Who's that guy from the Super Bowl? Bad Bunny. So Bad Bunny comes out with a new song. All right, that hits. You can take Bad Bunny's song, put in your vocal sample, say a few words, right, into AI, and then AI will replace Bad Bunny's vocals with yours. So now you've got Bad Bunny's musicians, the production, but it's your vocals singing his lyrics. Okay? Anybody can do it right now. You can do it with any song, and just anything. You can take a vocal sample from your neighbor, from your kids, from somebody you like, from somebody you don't like, and do this. And it's all over the web. So this new protocol, it's called MMMC, My Music, My Choice, MMMC, that will take a Bad Bunny song or any song, and then put these markers in throughout that you can't hear. Okay. So it's very short. But when AI grabs the song and samples it for you to put your vocals in, all AI gets is digital noise. That's it. I think this is incredible. And that's how it works. So you have your song, you have the whole song, and they take that waveform, right? It's 2 tracks, left and right, takes that waveform and drops in stuff that you can't hear. But when AI turns around and grabs those files, the audio is turned into digital crap, unusable. And I applaud this. I absolutely applaud this. It's necessary. I think we should absolutely 100% do the same thing with digital images. Your images, anybody's images, where okay, so they want to upload a file of pick somebody, I don't know, man. I always say Will Smith. I don't know where that comes to mind first. Eddie Van Halen, whatever. A politician, the Pope. A digital image that's got this in it. So then when AI grabs it to insert somebody else's face or that face or something else, that it's all scrambled and they can't do it. I think that is really cool. The only images that would be uploaded or the only audio files that will be usable are yours. The pictures that you took on your camera. The music that you created on your computer. You don't put the MMMC on it, and you can manipulate your own music until the cows come home. That's fine. So, yeah, that's what MMMC is. And the other comment, there is a new technology. The paper was just written, and it's coming out for identifying anonymous people. Okay, so here let's just go through. What am I talking about? Let's just go through the chat. So we have a lot of anonymous accounts here. I'm smiling at you, Minesweeper, Stella, Jack the Lad, Island Girl, Delta Dog. I'm just reading. I'm not saying anything about anybody. What I'm saying is these are people that are not using their own names. That's fine. All right, that's fine. So as I go through, Gizmo, right? Okay, so that's in our own chat here. All right, but this goes on all over the internet now. And in some cases where you're looking at all of social media, whether it's Twitter or Facebook, but Reddit and all of these other Substacks, where people are going in anonymously and talking smack, making stuff up, lying, attacking, personal attacks and all this stuff because they're hiding behind a pseudonym. Well, there is now software that can take those comments from anonymous accounts, right? So it does a scrape on the web, and the anonymous account's name is Little Red Riding Hood. So it scrapes the web for all of Riding Hood's comments in Facebook or Twitter or whatever, compiles that, and turns it into math. And it can do it, I'm talking about in math, like 1 million comments, 100,000 comments, and turn that into math and take that and analyze it and then go back to Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, and find out the real identity behind those people. And you will be able to run it and go, aha, so that's who you are. You talked all that smack about my children or whatever it is, my mom, whatever. Now I know who you are. So I think that the era of pseudonyms and hiding behind that is over. Yeah. You'll have this app on your iPhone. You'll have it on your desktop. And you're just wondering, who is that? That's really funny. Who is the genius behind that? Who figured out this science? Who figured out this fit? Who did whatever it may be? You'll be able to click, boom. 10 seconds later, you've got your imposter. It's crazy, isn't it? That's crazy. And that's where we are now. I think that the era of running with the pseudonym, I understand the reasons why for most, but that's it. You can't be that keyboard warrior talking that smack. Yeah, it's over. It's over. Let's take our break. This is Fade to Black. Tonight, it's our AMA AJA where you get to ask me anything. Yeah. All right? Stay right there. We'll be right back after this. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to get your alerts and access to over 2,000 videos. Click that subscribe button right now. Go to jimmychurchradio.com and get the Fade to Black official podcast. 2,000 episodes, all of them commercial free for just $2 a month. I am hosting, speaking, and presenting once again for the Conscious Life Expo, the largest conference of its type in the world. February 20th through the 23rd, 2026 at the LAX Hilton. Speakers, event, and schedule easy. Just visit consciouslifeexpo.com. I will be hosting and speaking at the Sedona Ascension Retreat, March 20th through the 22nd, 2026 in Sedona, Arizona. An amazing list of speakers, and it's beautiful Sedona. Come and hang out with us and just go to SedonaAscensionRetreats.com. I'm heading back to the Midwest for the Contact Modalities Expo, May 1st through the 3rd, 2026 in Delavan, Wisconsin, at the Lake Resort. It is beautiful. This is a great conference right in the heart of the Midwest, where I'm from. I'll see you there. Just go to Contact Modalities Expo, that's XPO.com. I will be hosting and presenting once again at Contact in the Desert. That's May 28th through June 1st, 2026, the largest UFO conference in the world. Come and hang out with us June 23rd through July 1st. Tickets and everything else that you need is at contactinthedesert.com. Want to change your life? Want that paradigm shift? Then visit Peru with Brian Forrester and myself for the Inca Celebration of the Sun, June 23rd through July 1st, 2026. A full 10 days of visiting the country, all of the amazing sights, and of course, the celebration of the winter solstice. It's all simple to do. Go to hiddenincatours.com. Come join us for the Monty Python Scotland Tour, August 1st through the 9th, 2026. This is a once-in-a-lifetime event where you get to go to the castles from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. August 1st through the 9th, 2026. Just visit HaleyARamsey.com. Watch Into the Vortex on Gaia TV. It's Fade to Black for the screen. Simple to do. Go to Gaia.com, search Jimmy Church, or click on the link below. Follow Fade to Black on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Get all of the show updates every single day. It's now called X, but who cares? Go to JChurchRadio.com and become a Fader Not. Get a membership. That's right. Everything is commercial free. You have access to downloads, and you get to call yourself a Fadernaut. Jimmy Church Guy TV, Fade to Black, here at Machu Picchu with Brian Forster and Hidden Inca Tours. Amazing tour so far, Brian, but we're here to announce what we're going to do next year in 2026. What's going on?
Okay, November 2026, we're going to have our major tour of Peru and Bolivia, either a pre or post tour of Paracas and Nazca on the coast. And then after that, 6 days in Easter Island.
Bucket list, Easter Island. Come join Brian and I and his amazing team here at Hidden Inca Tours for Peru, Bolivia, and Easter Island. Signing out. Say goodbye, Brian.
Bye, gang.
River Moon Coffee, makers of the Fade to Black blend. Truly the best coffee on planet Earth. Just visit rivermoonwellness.com or their Amazon store. It's all simple to do. You can check out the Fade to Black blend, the Game Changer blend, or any of their Black Moon Wellness products. It's the only coffee I drink. It is the best, and it's Doc. Again, rivermoonwellness.com. All right. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight's our AMA. My carpet is in the way of my wheels on my chair. I hate that. No, hate's a strong word. I dislike that when it happens. All right. So tonight's our AMA. Post your questions in all caps over in the live chat. I want to show you guys something really, really cool. And let's do this really quick. All right. I meant to do this and pull this down. Okay, there we go. I meant to do this right there. Okay, I just posted a link for the Galactic Federation of Light. It's a clothing company here in LA run by an amazing family, Dotan and his family. And this is not a paid endorsement. I paid retail for this. This is their clothing and their quality. This is a hoodie, and this is made here in the United States of America. That's the back of the jacket, back of the hoodie, and they are absolutely incredible. This is the 777 hoodie. I just purchased this. Okay, all right. Go to their website and look. To have high fashion, Dotan is from the fashion industry, the high fashion industry, but he's part of this community, and he wants to share a message of consciousness and oneness for the world. Go to their website and look at their stuff. It is different. You've seen me wear the 1111 shirts. That's Dotan. And look at the quality, made here, designed here, not off the shelf stuff. No, that is not. This is of such quality to feel it, and this is his stuff, his clothing, his manufacturing, all in-house right here in Southern California, in Los Angeles. It's incredible. And the dedication, his family, I know them. They are friends of mine. And I just want to show the world the work that they are doing. It's absolutely incredible. So go to galacticfederationoflight.com. The links are right there. I just popped it up in the chat. And go and see their stuff. If you want to wear something different, something unique, something of high quality, not only that you'll be proud of, but you want to show people who you are and what you're about. Go and look at their stuff. The Galactic Federation of Light, Dotan, his family. They're absolutely incredible. If you're listening tonight, Dotan, thank you for everything. Like I said, I paid for that shirt. I paid for that hoodie. All right. I'm just sharing this with you. It's just incredible stuff. All right. Let's move on. Next question. This is from Charles. Charles, is it Charles Wempy? Hey, Charles. What are your real thoughts on President Eisenhower and his meeting with aliens? Yeah, something happened. And it happened right down the street. Happened right over here at Edwards Air Force Base. And the story behind it, there is so much kooky behind that story that most people don't talk about that just makes it incredible. Okay, so first off, President Eisenhower's out in Palm Springs. He's out there for a few days, taking a break from Washington. So while he's out there in Palm Springs, a press release goes out that he died. Okay, this is go and check. Take my word for it. It's part of the historical record. So that goes out on the wire. You know, has a heart attack, dies in Palm Springs. That was the first thing that happened on that weekend. The second thing that happened that weekend, there was a press release that was put out after he had died, right? And now he's not dead. He just had a toothache and he disappeared and he's gone and allegedly now at his dentist. The story goes he went from Palm Springs over to here. It's not a far drive at all. Hour drive, hour and a half, to Edwards Air Force Base where he met them aliens. And if it wasn't the other funny business that is involved with that weekend, right? Him dying, and then he didn't actually die. He just went to the dentist. You know, wow, right? And then that part of it. So much action goes on out here. There are so many stories and actual Air Force documents about sightings and craft over Edwards Air Force Base. You have to look at that time. It was called Muroc Army Airfield, by the way. It's called Edwards now. Probably at that time, I would have to go and check the turnover. It's Muroc dry lake bed, right, is out there. And that's where they built the base. So it was called Muroc Army Airfield at the Muroc dry lake bed. It was later changed to Edwards Air Force Base. Was it called Edwards when Eisenhower went there? The timing of it could have been that week, but it was right around that period. But the amount of stuff on the record about what has been happening at Edwards over the years is part of our history. The other part is Edwards was there, Muroc Army Airfield was there before Area 51. All right? That's where all the secret stuff was going down, right here, and it still does. When they built Edwards, Muroc, when they built it, it was in the middle of nowhere. There were no homes. There were no houses out here. There wasn't anything. And they built the base for testing. So Chuck Yeager breaking the sound barrier, that happened right here at Edwards. This space shuttle landing, right? That happened here, right? Stealth fighter, here. B-2 bomber, here. All of it, all of the secret stuff. So F-22, F-35, right, which is built here. But when that stuff was being designed and tested, that stuff takes off and turns around and flies to Edwards. All the secret stuff goes on. And now, of course, there's Area 51. But that's what Edwards was all about back then. You just can't chalk it up to active imagination of our active military personnel when they talked about the sightings and made their official reports about stuff going on in and around and above Edwards. So I think there is something to it. And then when you tie in the toothache and the reports of his death that same weekend. Yeah. I think there's definitely something to that entire case. Yep. Why are there no tellies on the wall? There is. One right there. I have tellies. They're just not behind me. There's only, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 14 guitars that you can see behind me. I own, I don't know how many I own. Somewhere between 1 and 200 guitars. That's how many I have. I lost count a long time ago. I don't count. But there are a few tellies. They're just not behind me. You want me to put some tellies on the wall for you next week? I'll do. I used to rotate these around. I just got tired of doing it, and would have something different up there all the time. I haven't done that in probably a year or 2 years. So Dano, is it Dano? You've just reminded me that maybe I should put some stuff in rotation. Yeah, I like to show it off. It's fun. Guitars are cool, man. Guitars are cool. Yeah. I was never a telly guy for a lot of reasons. I was just a heavy metal guy, man. Humbucker, Floyd Rose, and my taste have changed somewhat. I really appreciate a telly now, and I never got the telly. I didn't get bit by the telly snake earlier on. No. Strats, yes, of course. Started off on Les Pauls, and I went to Strats, and now it doesn't matter to me. I just like a little bit of everything. That SG that is right there. I only have one SG. It's that one. I had an SG in high school for a minute, and I really liked it. Tony Iommi played an SG, and I thought it was really cool. That guitar, I should have 20 of those. I love that thing. It's all neck all the time. But it's really weird. I didn't go back and get an SG for 30 years or something, So, but yeah, I have a few tellies. And all of my tellies, yeah, I think I have 3, 4. They're all butterscotch, maple neck, nothing funky. They're just, I've kept them stock. Yeah, to keep that telly magic. But thank you for noticing, though. And thank you for reminding me that I do have to rotate these. I'll do this again. Let's see. B2F in Sedona. What is the number? What? I don't understand. Am I missing something? B2F in Sedona. What is the number? And how crazy can we be? I don't know what B2F is. B2F in Sedona. I don't know what that is. Nemo, you stumped me. We should do that again. We used to play Stump the Panel here. F2B. Yes, we're going to do Fade to Black on the stage in Sedona. Yes, we are. All right. Let's see. He's stalling. What does that mean? What am I stalling about? I'm not stalling. What did I stall about? I would never stall. Man, you guys like Queensryche, Jeff Tate, Queensryche. I remember now. I remember how it all happened. Queensryche. Yeah. All right. Let's see. What's up next? Get ya lean on, Jimmy. Man, I guess Esperanza's in a mood tonight. Gangsta lean. What's a gangsta lean? Air fryer French fries are the bomb. Okay, let me get into full. I've got all caps, everybody. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right. Jose says, do you think that cryptids in general might have the skills to know when and how to travel into other dimensions through portals? 100%, without question, fact. 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 We as humans are at that point in our own evolution with science and technology to do exactly that. We're right there. We're right there. We are just months away. It's probably being done now. Absolutely jumping. Now that we know about extra dimensions and parallel worlds and the multiverse, science is going to figure out. Isaac Arthur on this show, brilliant physicist on the show, said, you know what? It's easier to jump between dimensions and portals and the multiverse and multi-worlds than it is to travel at the speed of light. So anything out there more advanced than us by a few years to 10,000 years or a million years, that's how they do it. That's how they do it. That's how they do it. When you see something just appear in the sky, scoot over here, and then just disappear, poof, what do you think is going on? Right? That's 100%, Jose. I don't think that there is, I'm saying it's fact. It's fact. Oh, man, there are no facts, man. You can't say it. I can say that, and I am saying that. Anything out there just a little bit more advanced than us has got that dialed. They have to. Remember, I used to tell that joke. Husband and wife on another planet, sitting there, scrolling through channels in bed. Yeah. Oh, is that the Gangsta Lean? Is that the Gangsta Lean, Esperanza? You like that? They're sitting there in bed going, hey, honey, let's go to Earth. Let's go to In-N-Out real quick. We can be back here before the commercial break is over. Okay, let's go. Pep, bam, click, got In-N-Out, double, French fries, chocolate shake, back on their home planet. And then the commercial break is over and they continue binging the Golden Girls. Right? It's like that. I don't have another way to look at it. It's that easy. It's that easy. And before you say, oh, that sounds crazy. Well, what we can do today, right? What we can do today, if we went back 100 years, back to 1926, and showed the people in 1926 that I can take out my phone and order food and have it delivered to my house in 15 minutes. What? I can get on my phone and order a motorcycle built in China on Amazon, delivered to my front door the next day. Do you know what kind of voodoo black magic bullshit that would sound like to somebody 100 years ago? They wouldn't buy it. And our technology today and where we are as humans, it's crazy. It truly is. It's not like pipe dream stuff from the 1950s and flying cars and space rockets, right? Moon rocket X2. It's not like that. We are truly in a crazy part of time. Yeah. Yeah, we have abilities that we take for granted. Okay? It's the same thing with the husband and wife mantid beings from Zeta Reticuli that want to come here and get chocolate shakes before the commercial is over on their TV set. Yeah. Yep. Jose, that is fact. I'm telling you, that's fact. There's no physicist that is going to talk their way out of that. Let's see what this is. It's long. From Cup Creations. Jimmy, less of a question and more of a guest recommendation if that's allowed. Ben Woodruff, Desert Lore here on YouTube. He's been on Skinwalker, and I think you two would really hit it off. Okay, I will pass that on to my producer, Michelle, and we'll see if we can make that happen for you. All right, let's see. Android Paranormal. Yeah, show's complete. What are your thoughts on the Pentagon refusing to even conduct a search for, I know. Oh, let me finish the question. Search for Immaculate Constellation from Greenwald's Freedom of Information Act. First refusal in 30 years. My thoughts are it pisses me off. I constantly go back to the same point when it comes to this stuff. There's something going on. It's about nature, and it's about alien life out there. That's it. So, Immaculate Constellation, which is a catch-all of everything, right? Videos, documents, evidence, all of that. Well, if it exists, okay, so the first refusal, what that says to me is if the response comes back, we don't have anything under that name, give us something else and we'll look again, to coming back and saying, we refuse. So obviously it's there. Yeah. Uncool. We have, just like Rolling Stone said, right? The quote for me, it's our fundamental right to know this stuff as humans. It's our fundamental right. That's it. There isn't another level. There isn't another way to look at this. Isn't another way to discuss it or to frame it in such a way. No, it's our fundamental right to know about nature. That's it. I'm not going to bend. It pisses me off. It does. They are admitting that it exists, but they're not going to release it. Under what, again, that whole National Security Act and, oh, man. Yeah. All right. Here we go. MWL. Do you think it's a coincidence that the Sphinx and the speed of light are the same numbers or just difference point? Okay. There has been a lot of analysis on this. Not only the Sphinx, but the Sphinx and the Great Pyramid, where you can take those numbers, crunch them, height, width, all right, circumference, take any point in it and analyze the math, and you can turn that math into anything that you want. That's what the critics are going to say. That's what the debunkers are going to say. To look at the numbers and the math and the engineering behind so many temples and sites, not only at Giza, but throughout Egypt, but also throughout the Americas and around the world. And to go back, Leetapi is another example that there is no way that the designers and builders of those had any idea about certain things: the circumference of the earth, the speed of light, the distance of the earth to the sun, the distance of the earth to the moon, that those were not calculated into and used in these different structures and rooms and interior construction as well. That it's just all coincidence. You can do that with anything. Well, no, you can't. You can't. To suggest that the construction of the Sphinx was a big block of sandstone. So they just carved it into this shape. It was just like a fun thing to do, and they did it. And it just happens to have certain things in it, like pi and the golden ratio and the speed of light and the circumference of the earth and the distance of the earth to the sun, earth to the moon, and other things too as well. All kinds of celestial things are going on there, and measurements of the earth and physics and science. That no, I don't think that those builders were just, okay, let's point it in this direction. No, it's not that kind of party. It's just not. The precision of stuff that was done at that time. And it could be, and if we look at the Orthodox view of this, that the Great Pyramid and the Sphinx were built at 2650 BC. All right, that's 4,500 years ago, almost 5,000 years ago. That at that time, people could pull it off. When they're telling us at that time that was the end of the Stone Age, moving into the Bronze Age, and they went from nomadic tribes in the desert, literally one day, and then the next day the sun comes up and they're leveling off Giza. They're building the Bent Pyramid and Dozer and the Red Pyramid, just like overnight. And the construction of most of that, going from, if you go with their timeline, going from Dozer, the Bent Pyramid, the Red Pyramid, to Khafre and Khufu, and the Great Sphinx, and leveling off the hilltop there at Giza. Remember, it was round. They leveled it to build everything. They did all of that in 75 years. And there was a lot of other pyramids in between too as well. All right. It was like 25 that were built in a 75-year period. Ha! Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. Just right there. It's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. There wasn't enough people in Egypt to do this. So that's it. But then you throw in everything else, the astronomy, the engineering, the math, the construction. It throws it all off kilter. To have pi in the golden ratio before Pythagoras, 2,000 years before Pythagoras was a dream of his parents, right? To have that stuff show up, yeah, man, come on, man. So I'm with you. All right, Donna from Kentucky. What? See, she just said who she was. Gryphon lady. Donna from Kentucky. How you doing, Donna? It's been a minute. I would like to pick Atlantis from the Stargate every single day. It's a freaking city and a ship, and it's absolutely freaking awesome. Thank you for that, Donna from Kentucky. Donna, how you doing? Man, I haven't talked to Donna in forever. Absolutely cool. Thank you for stopping by. I'm looking for those all caps. God, the chat is you're going there. Moon at Noon. Better songwriter, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, or Elton John? Well, okay, Elton was okay. Bernie Taupin was his songwriting partner, wrote all those lyrics. Elton writing, most of the music. I mean, when you think about Goodbye Yellow. Okay, so I think all three wrote songs with the word road in it. Right? Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Long and Winding Road. I think John Lennon had one too as well. The new Paul McCartney documentary, Man on the Run. Watch it. It's incredible. Oh, there's another tip for you, Shelley. Man on the Run. just came out last week. Documentary, Paul McCartney, incredible. So that's tough and not really a fair question. But, and I just brought up the Long and Winding Road, Hey Jude, right? Paul McCartney was a freak. Was a freak when it comes to songwriting. Elton John, right? Lee Vaughn. Listen to that. If that doesn't make you cry, Elton John. Wow, right? Tough. Pinball Wizard. Whew, John Lennon. Oh man. Almost Not Fair. Imagine is such a great record. All the way up, but Paul McCartney. I'm going Paul. Not only the stuff that he did with the Beatles, but Wings Over America. Somebody's knocking at the door. You go and you listen to, Band on Run. You go and listen to that stuff. Paul really evolved from the era of the Beatles all the way through Sgt. Pepper and okay. But what he evolved into, I don't know if that was Linda or if it was just all in his head, but he really went from like a turboprop airplane to the frigging space shuttle. He really advanced himself in just a couple of years. And one other thing before I move on, when it comes to, thank you for that, Moon. One of the things for me that is shocking, I mean shocking, the Beatles run was 7 years, 63 to 70. 7 years. You know how short that is? COVID was 7 years ago. This is 2026. That's how short. It seems like no. So from 63 to 1980, when Lennon was killed, he only had 17 years. Oh man, same thing with George Harrison. Right? Very short. I mean, like in the blink of an eye. It's just incredible to me. And so many artists that we just admire and their music stays with us and is so timeless that their portion of, and the list is so long. The list is incredible, where they come in and bust all of this stuff out and then are taken from us, where you just step back and go, man, they only did that for 5 years. She only did that for 4 years, 5 years. Nirvana. You want Nirvana? Oh man. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But Paul McCartney's still with us. So, and his part in the new Spinal Tap movie is priceless. He's so funny in that. All right. Okay. All right. What's the brand and model of your air fryer? I need to know. It's a drawer. I don't have one of those tabletop. No, it's a drawer. I think a Ninja, maybe. I'd have to go and look at it. Yeah, but it's a drawer. If I'm going to make a recommendation, I was talking, my daughter and I, Nicole, were talking over the weekend. And it wasn't about, hi, honey, I miss you. Yeah, Dad, I miss you too. You know what we did? 60-minute phone call. Air fryers. I am not making up any of what I just said. 1 hour phone call. And she agreed with me. Drawer is the way to go. It's the way the air circulates, and it's concentrated, and it's smaller. And so you don't have to get extravagant. I don't have one of those tabletop air fryer convection oven No, those look cool, but I'm so used to the way that mine cooks. So I have one with a drawer that you pull out. I'm cooking for one, sometimes two. So that's the perfect size for me. And that's it. So mine's a drawer. I think it's a Ninja. Wow, I can't believe I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a Ninja. I mean, I would have to look. I'd have to leave my chair. Uh, bada, bada bing, bada boop. And I guess Esperanza, I'm rolling over Esperanza's content or comments tonight. Okay, I'll chill. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, they dumped the files all right in a burn barrel. Yeah, I know. I know. Okay. Yes. Okay, it's a great question. Is this latest development going to affect your trip to Egypt? It would if there are there are no flights. All of the tourism in that part of the world, and especially Egypt, all of Egypt's economy is tourism. That's it. 100%. I don't know what else they're doing in that country. Everything up there, hotels, clothing, souvenirs, of course, boats and the temples and this and that. All of their economy is tourism driven. And right now, no flights. So yes, all the tours to Egypt right now that we're going to go on this month, those are all canceled. And I've been watching the cancellations. There's just no way to do those right now. Hopefully things are going to chill and we are going to, and it's just a wrong word to use with everything that is going on right now with the Iran war. I don't mean to be so cavalier. But as things calm down, we'll be able to get things back up and running. I was there October 7th, 3 years ago, when everything jumped off in Gaza. And it was an uncomfortable situation to be in. And I'm telling you, that was 70 miles from my hotel. And that stuff is jumping off. I mean, over the hill, right there. It was uncomfortable. But now, everything is stopped. So hopefully it'll be back to normal very, very soon. But yeah, right now, I can only imagine there's probably literally nobody at the Great Pyramid. There's nobody in the museums. There's nobody in Luxor. There's nobody at Karnak. There's nobody at Kamambo, Saqqara, Dashur. No, it's got to be empty. There's no way to get in. The only people that are there are the ones that are stuck, the tourists that are stuck that can't get out. What do you want to do today, honey? Well, let's go back to the Great Pyramid. Let's go back to I just got it. Corey. You're welcome, Corey. I just saw your email come in on my phone. But yeah. Okay. You want to walk back to the you want to go do this? Yeah, I can only imagine. Yes, this is crazy. Randy, thank you for this. Now, there were two things that have happened. Okay, this is one. The missing Air Force general is creating some buzz in the UFO community. Do you think it may be related to a psyop or bad actors? Okay, two things have happened. One, this general has disappeared. All right. Did you know here in another town next to Palmdale, there's a bunch of little towns here. There's Little Rock, a little town, Rosamond, there's Quartz Hill. There's these little communities that are around Palmdale that have a couple of hundred people. And one of them, I pass by all the time in the mountains when I go up to Wrightwood, Vallermo. and Vallehermo has a monastery there. There is literally, when you drive through there, 10 houses. I'm serious too. It's like, it's all mountains. And out there was an astrophysicist that worked for Caltech. And he was shot and killed last month on his front porch by, I think, another astrophysicist. Yep. Right there. Right. And it's a crazy story. And they don't have answers for this. So we've got this missing general. We've got this astrophysicist from Caltech. At the same time, it makes you want to scratch your head. Yeah. And especially with this UFO file dump. But thank you for that, Randy. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's stories like this, when the news breaks, it makes you wonder if we will ever find out the truth. What did I say earlier in this show? The news cycle is, and I've been talking about this for 12 years. This is nothing new with me. And if you remember 12 years ago, 10 years ago, 8 years ago, remember when I used to do the news, the cover-up news? Remember that? I would do something one day, and then I would do some breaking news story the next day, and then go back and look for the previous huge breaking news story from the day before, and it has disappeared from the news cycle. And that trend has been going on for 12 years. And now it's to the extreme. Everything gets covered up. Everything. It gets buried. There's so much happens. And it's one thing after another, to the point where the big story from 2 days ago, that was the biggest thing in the world, is gone and won't come back. I don't know if the Epstein files will ever return. Savannah Guthrie's mom kidnapped. Front page news for weeks. It's gone. I don't know if that'll come back. Who's covering these things? So, yeah. And like this, same thing. Phil Riviera. Phil says, Jimmy, what do you think of them trying to do to disclose? That's exactly what I was just talking about. Yeah, thank you for that, Phil. It's crazy to have, let's not forget, all right, if we back up and we look at Obama, aliens are real. 2 days later, the White House says, okay, so no, we can't let Obama steal this. We're gonna order the Department of War to reveal everything about ET, aliens, UFOs, and flying saucers. You're going to get it all. That's the biggest news in the history of mankind. It's gone. With all of the drama that is happening right now in Washington, D.C., the Senate, the House, the White House, with all that drama, do you really think at this point in time that we're going to have another UFO hearing? It's like all of that with disclosure and UFO hearings and everything else. It is now so last week. And I hope that it doesn't continue to get pushed back like other things that need to be covered. It's where we are. It's crazy. All right. Let's see here. Jimmy, you should watch What We Do in the Shadows. Dude, I have binged. Thank you, Philip. I have binged What We Do in the Shadows, all of it, at least 4 times. At least 4 times. It's brilliant. Bridgerton. Yeah. Bridgerton's good. I like the first 2 seasons of Bridgerton. I thought it was it's just unreal. Not really. You would think it's not my cup of tea, romantic comedy. The secret writer of the editorial, right? And festival season. But yeah. Jimmy, there are so many AI narrated videos that use your voice. Are you aware of this? It's kind of crazy. Whatever. Yeah. I've seen it. I've been sent it. It's too easy. Man, there's how many years of my voice out there? I hear it all the time now. It's really funny. People send it to me. It's flattering. It's an honor. Yeah, it's an honor. And would they use it for something that's untrue or hoax or fake? It's the world that we live in now. You know, it's as wrong as it is to say that we kind of just have to deal with it. We do. We do. We have to deal with it. I haven't had to defend anything yet. I didn't say that. It's not me. I never said that. And even would I? People that know me know me. All right. All right. If you don't hear it, if it doesn't come from this show, if it doesn't come from Beyond Belief or Into the Vortex, some official source, the breaking news, if it doesn't come from that, then that's it. That's it. I'm not in I'm not in a position to defend or want to defend or care to defend. It's out there and there's a lot of it. I've stopped listening to the videos and watching them. I get them sent to me all the time. I remember the first time it happened to me when I was scrolling and I was doing something and it was like, boop, there it is. Right. And I was like, what? I was like, there it is. There's my voice on some UFO video, some AI generated. Maybe it was real. It doesn't matter. But it was very strange. It was very strange. It misses all of the little inflections and the little touches, but the tone and everything else is right there. It was pretty fascinating. Nothing you can do about it. There's truly nothing you can do. All right, let's keep going. Jimmy, what's your favorite conspiracy? Okay, this is from Ray. My favorite conspiracy that turned out to be real, or my favorite conspiracy that I'm waiting to be real? All right, I'll give you both right at the end of the show. My favorite conspiracy that turned out to be real, Operation Northwoods. That is as crazy as it gets. Conspiracy turned out to be real. Actually happened. If you're not familiar with Operation Northwoods, look it up and go and read it. It is part of the presidential record. It's part of the history of the United States. It is a real thing. My favorite conspiracy that I'm waiting to be real, I gotta go. Two things, both involve Egypt, but the Hall of Records underneath the Sphinx. Yeah. That's a great one. And the other is the Library of Alexandria. We know it existed. That part is the historical record. Did they get that stuff out of there? Were there copies of that stuff? And where did it go? And also tied to that, I think, is certainly the vaults of the Vatican. What is truly down there. I know that Napoleon got in there and took all the stuff that went over to the Louvre. but putting that aside, it's vast underneath the Vatican. So what did Napoleon take and what did he leave behind? Well, he left probably 99.9% of the stuff behind. The Vatican doesn't know what is in there. And that is, I'm serious, it's that much stuff. So that's a great conspiracy. I would like to know those things, right? Conspiracy, but we don't know if it's true or not. But Operation Northwoods, let's keep going here for a minute. Let's keep going. I'll see if I can squeeze some more stuff in. And dude, I'm rolling over stuff. Do you believe that people can make deals with yeah, they can make deals with demons. Are the deals real? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. All right, let's see. Squeeze. Oh, that's what you were talking about, Donna. The new Stargate series. Yeah, I'm excited about that. Yeah. Yeah. Jimmy, have you ever had a chance to be in a movie or an extra in a movie? Yes, I have. A few times. If nothing is created or destroyed, okay, that's too long of an answer. Let's get to some. All right, man, there's a lot of questions here I didn't get to. What planet would I want to travel to? I would make it really simple. Alpha Centauri. It's 4.5 years away. It's close. One of those planets is rocky. It doesn't rotate. It doesn't have a day. So one side is hot, one side is cold, but it is rocky. I would like to go to Alpha Centauri. Yeah. Come back here and report on it. Yeah. I would like to do that. I'll squeeze in one more before I say good night. Okay, here we go. This is from Donna Marie. Did you know that the only Mickey D's with turquoise versus golden arches is in Sedona? I've been there. I've taken pictures under those arches. Yes. Meat, you say? Here they have a new mega burger, the big arch. I know. Man, I haven't eaten at McDonald's like eaten at McDonald's. I don't even know the last time. Had to have been at least 5 years ago. And it was while I was on the freeway and I got fries and coffee. That's what I got from McDonald's. I got fries and coffee. But I haven't eaten at McDonald's in a long time. Yeah. I haven't eaten really any fast food in a number of years. Okay. All right. With that, there's too many. I'll be on the air for another 2 or 3 hours, but all of your questions have been great tonight. Just thank you so much. This is, it is my one night in the month where I just get to sit down and hang out with all of you. So much fun. I'll see everybody back here on Monday. But the rest of the week, I am filming Beyond Belief out in Boulder. And so there you go. So that's my week next week. I'll see everybody right back here on Monday. Have a great, safe, fun, and amazing weekend. But for now, all I've got. Fade to Black is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee Newman, and Michelle Freed. Special thanks to Bill, John, Dex, Jessica, Dennis, and Kevin. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music by Doug Aldrich. Intro, Space Boy. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network. This broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2024 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Go back, Lee Tappy.